Welcome to another episode. Today it's finally raining, and I'm like, okay, I can do a new episode. It took me a while because it was so warm and I was just not up for it. I didn't want to do it, and so, I'm doing this episodes for free, so I kind of choose when I do episodes, and sometimes it's just not the right time to do so. And here in Switzerland it was so warm that I just didn't feel like doing it, so here we go, another one. Today I want to talk about what if you think that you can achieve anything. You can be anything you want. You can do anything you want. And then you get to the point where you're like, but what about this and this and this? What about I'm not getting there because I'm kind of in this cycle, I'm in this pattern, repeating things over and over again, and I feel stuck. So what is this all about of I'm free, I can be and do whatever I want? And you're like, huh? How is that possible? Because I don't feel like it, right? I don't feel like being able to really explore and be myself and do whatever I want and, like all of that, right? That should provide me peace, that should provide me happiness whatsoever, right? Whatever you're dreaming of, right? And you're like, huh, well, huh? Doesn't work. I still feel stuck. I still feel not there. I want to give you a few tips. Let's really dive into this. If you're meeting the first time, hi, my name is Patricia. I'm a life coach, and this is what we do here, right? It's about diving into who are you? It's about diving into what's going on in your reality, what's going on here, and let's bring them in alignment with where you want to go, right? So if this video is actually helping you, I really do appreciate if you give it a thumbs up and if you subscribe to this video or to this channel, so it actually gets spread a little bit more, and you have no idea how tremendously this helps. And as you know by now, I'm doing this quite a lot. I'm doing this because I want to share, because I want people to know more about themselves so they can actually find this inner peace and they can find more happiness within, simply because I never experienced that before. Simply because all those tips, all those tricks, all those practices I'm giving to you, they really helped me. They helped and supported my clients, and really a lot of it goes down to why wouldn't you have a great life? Why wouldn't you be happy? Why wouldn't you go there, right? Why wouldn't you choose yourself? Well, because there's a lot of things going on, right? So let's dive into today's video, into today's episode. It's interesting, right? We grow up in an environment that is, providing you with school, providing you with a home, providing you with various different things, right? And you learn structures, you learn the way how to believe, you learn values, you learn a lot of things. And when you're getting older, you may get to the break point where you're like, wait a second, what the heck is going on, right? I keep doing those things. My mom keeps doing this. She's doing exactly this and this and this when she's stressed. She's coping. Holy moly, I'm doing the same. I'm not doing it with this and this. I'm doing it with, I don't know, I go shopping or I do anything different. Like I do lots of sports to somehow release my stress. And I'm keep repeating things. I keep like being super nervous around my partner when I'm not feeling safe. I don't feel safe. I don't feel seen. I have a lot of things going on inside of me, a lot of rage, a lot of turmoil that is coming up more frequently. And I'm getting more aware of who am I, right? And with who are you, I mean all those things that we put on, right? I don't mean your essence. This is not about your essence. I mean with who are you in the here and right now? And maybe you're like, I'm desperate to change. I'm desperate to be somebody else. I'm desperate to have this job. I'm so desperate to get this love. I'm so done with the life I have. I think you're missing an extreme amount of you're missing the whole point of your reality at this moment, which is about looking into it as if you created it. Looking at it as, hey, I did a whole lot to this situation. I added up a lot of things to be in this situation. And to say, hey, I take this situation and I want X, Y, Z, I don't know. But coming from this fundament, it's kind of weird because you're not getting there, right? You are not getting there in a peaceful way. I mean, if the ultimate thing that we can experience is like being peaceful and being honest with yourself and being free, then it actually means that we need to understand where we are at this very moment. So to be anything that you want depends on which angle you're looking at, right? But if you're looking at an angle from, hey, let's get away from who am I right now, so I push away because I don't like what I see in this current moment, you're missing the whole learning part. You're missing out on the opportunity to heal something, to really reflect on it and to feel. This is not who you are. It is what you have created in your life, right? It's not about, hey, shame on you. This is, look, what mess you created. No, this is about to see how much you added to it. This is about to see, okay, well, I don't want to be in this anymore. But you cannot really move away from it or create something that you really truly want, because once you fully accepted where you're at, you fully accepted who you are at this current moment with all those weird whatsoever, right? With all of that, you start to recognize that what you originally wanted is probably no longer in your interest. And this is what is oftentimes so funny when I first start to work with people and they start to change their goals over time, because they start to recognize what their original plan was is actually not really in alignment with them anymore. They start to see that there is a way bigger goal to explore for them. They start to see things so differently, and it's not about, hey, let's love the air, right? It's not about unicorns and all of that. It's about being super grounded and super real about your goals, right? But they change over time, and as soon as you start to work on yourself, you're like, wait a second, that is actually not anymore what I truly desire. Or I actually see why it never came in the first place. I can actually recognize what I have created to really stay away from this thing, right? To not even get close, to not even involve or make this thing grow in the first place. And you're like, oh, I sabotaged myself. But maybe you sabotage yourself for the better. You know what I mean? So let's not criticize ourselves on where we stand. Let's honor ourselves where we stand, and let's look into things why we are standing there, right? What is the purpose in standing here? What can I learn? What can I explore here, right? And then take it from there, take it from this inner, really from this inner peace of like, okay, I'm letting it go. Like, I'm letting go the shame I feel, I'm letting go the pain I feel, I'm letting go that I'm not that person that I'm supposed to be, you know, that I'm this or that, or I've created, I don't know, massive wealth, or whatsoever, great career, or whatever it is, right? Whatever you have in your mind that you need to be until now and you're not. And to understand that that was maybe never the initial idea, right? Maybe it was never initially the idea that you go there anyways. I oftentimes start to see things that unfold now that I have actually planned when I was like 20. I start to see those creations coming up now of what I've always wanted to do. And so, you know, just because you're planting a seed doesn't mean it's coming out tomorrow. It just means you started the process. Can you be anything or everything you want? Well, this is dependent on so many other laws that, you know, you cannot really say yes or no to this. Maybe it's in your plan, maybe it's not. But you know, what is truly important to you, and I really say this quite often, is about not looking at, hey, this is what I don't have. It is actually this feeling connected to yourself every single day. Learn to connect to yourself. Learn to see the world from here. Now, this is not flower power. This is actually truly real work. It's quite demanding and it needs a lot of practice. This is not flower power. Meditation is hard work, especially in the beginning. It's not easy at all. You know, you start sitting here and you hear everything and your mind is going nuts and all of that. You know, there is a lot of different meditation practices out there, and it's not about, or for me, meditation is not about, hey, I'm sitting still and I'm not thinking anything. For me, meditation is I go home. For me, meditation means I connect with myself so deeply, so compassionate, that I have access to all and everything, you know. And this is where I start to create my life from. I start to create my life from the origin, from my essence, to really understand what I want and where I want to go. And if I have no clear structure or no clear plan, I slow down with my actions. I'm not immediately going out and trying everything and whatsoever, because I have the tendency to do that, right? Get to know yourself. What are your tendencies? Do you tend to not do any actions? You know, are you not exploring enough, right? If you're not exploring really, if you're not exploring life because you feel that you're doing a lot of mistakes, then maybe more exploring is totally good for you. For me, I don't need to explore everything anymore. I'm not into that anymore. I'm not into doing so many things that I have zero energy left. I start to really use my energy more wisely. But you know, this depends where you are at, and mine isn't better than yours, and the other way around. It's not about, oh, you achieved I don't know what, right? I don't know what. This is about really going home. Return home. Return to who you are originally, right? Return to that place and stop thinking, oh, I'm not this yet, I'm not that yet. Go home. Home. Home is here. It's nowhere else. You don't need to, I don't know, travel. You don't need any cash for this. This is not you need any cash to receive this peace, to feel love, to feel connected. But you see, everything that you create, for me, it is mandatory to connect to that source first, because if I'm not connected to that, and you can say this in so many different ways, right? This is not about, hey, look at it only in a spiritual sense. There are many other teachers who will say this differently, and it means, in my opinion, it's exactly the same. It's exactly the same. There are so many different teachers. They say exactly what I do, or vice versa, but the way how they say it is different. Start to look for what words you need to hear, right? Sometimes I listen to people and I'm like, no, right? But it's not because their message is wrong. It just doesn't feel right for me. But then I go over there and I start to kind of combine the two, and I'm like, oh, actually, that person was pretty on point, but I couldn't listen to it. I couldn't see the value. I couldn't take it. And it's not about, oh, this person brought the message across wrong, or that person did it more right. It's what is right for me, standing my ground for me, speaking the truth for me, you know? This has nothing to do with what other people say, what other people think. And it's crazy, crazy, crazy how hard we try to comfort other people. Crazy. How we try to comfort other people so that they feel good around us while we then sacrifice. You know, life is about, I'm doing the best I can, but for all and everything. And this actually includes me. You know, you don't have to sacrifice yourself all the time for somebody else. This is also about getting in alignment with who you are and giving out the best you can, right? And it's interesting how, like, your goals and you know, when you start to talk and you figure out what you really want, right? You start to open up more, you start to speak more, and how things actually align quite smoothly without you doing too much. You don't have to work so hard to get to that goal. It's really interesting how things start to shift when you start to be more in alignment with who you truly are, because that is actually where happiness can come in. But you know, when you start to feel home with yourself, when you start to feel all of that, and you start to do that with others too, in their company, they start to align with themselves too. And it's such a ripple effect for everybody when they start to acknowledge that it's okay to be themselves. They're not getting shamed for it. They're not, called out for it. Nothing like this, right? It's about holding space for everybody, including yourself. You see, so let's go back to the origin, right? To the, can I be everything that I truly want? First of all, find out who you are with all your BS, right? With all the things that really nag on you, with all the things that are beautiful, right? Everything. Start to look at it with the light. Start to really put on a light to those areas that you feel kind of like, I hope nobody sees this. Put on the light. And start to understand that in order to really get home, in order to really receive what you truly desire, truly from here and here aligned, right? Aligned. And not just the mind thinking, oh, I need more cash, or I need a more beautiful car so my neighbor will actually see it, or I get the most beautiful career so that everybody's like acknowledging on my contribution, or acknowledging my money, acknowledging me as what I have achieved whatsoever, right? It doesn't really matter, right? But it's about getting back to you, looking at it from the heart place, and it does require practice. It's really not done by, hey, I practiced this once. You got to practice this daily basis. Really, this is so crucial that you have a daily practice. And it's not about, hey, I need, I don't know, meditation like a monk, 5 hours a day. No, that's not even required. You can do this while you're at the bus station. That's totally fine. Which brings me back to the next point, that is about really learn to open up that heart and really put your attention there and say something like, it's safe to open up now. Start to feel like how it's opening up. You can imagine a heart chakra, you can imagine a rose like this one behind me, you opening up. You can imagine whatever, right? Whatever serves the purpose is fine. There is no right or wrong in this area. This is about what feels right for you. Get back to you, right? This is what I all the time share in my trainings too. I hold the gate for you. I'm opening the gate for you. And maybe I walk a little bit in that gate with you. But it's your journey. You travel through that. It's on you where we are going, right? I just hold the space for you so that you feel safe enough to open up. That's it. That's it, right? All right, my friends, I hope this video has helped you. Let me know in the comments section, how do you feel now? Really curious to hear. With this said, thanks so much, and I speak to you soon.